What else you need? Anybody?
Take $1 million.
I was just about to say that exact same thing. If you giving,
Right.
Oh, I ain't greedy. I'll take a half.
we receiving. I promise you.
You know what? It is so good to be here on a Wednesday. A beautiful day. You know why it's so beautiful?
Well,
we're here.
That's right. These goddesses are here. And they are with me
And where
on
are
Community Updates on WJZZ Cool TV, the original jazz station on the planet, ladies. You are living in a legacy right here with Michelle. That's right. Give it up to Michelle, y'all. Let's give it up to Michelle. We love it, right? Community updates. I love being here because we get a chance to go into the community and give them some awareness.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? And speaking of awareness, we have two beautiful goddesses here. That's our guest.
Yes.
And let's talk about Miss Crystal Gunn.
Okay.
Okay, we're going to talk about her and what she's got coming up. And also, Miss Deborah Love. Deborah Love, how you doing?
I'm doing great.
You're doing great? All right, that's good. Now, listen. I'm going to turn it over to the host and let her do her thing because
we
she
both
is...
are hosting.
No, it's your time to shine
And
right
who
now.
do we have right here, ladies?
Al
Racy. I said,
Say
well, why
my
do you
name.
want us to... He likes his name to be sung. That's his brand.
Yeah.
And you know you must be special to me because
So you don't
sing.
But we're
I
so
did
glad
that
to
for you.
have you all here tonight on Community Updates. And we want all of our viewers and listeners to please tune in. We want you to tune in. If you have questions, when you hear people, be sure and get your pencil and paper ready because you know we're going to give you information. The Community Updates is to give you information to help empower you. When we are bringing people on, it is not for us. We are here to be servers, to help the community, to help each other.
That's right.
And that is so important. And so we bring information. Get your pencil and papers ready. Get your
ready.
questions
Get it
ready. Be sure and give us a call. You can give us a call at 313-355-6018. I'll repeat that. 313-355-6018. Be sure and call in to us if you have some questions. We're right here on Community Updates WJZZ Cool TV.
Well, you can check us out on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, and sometimes Instagram. Make no
Twitch,
mistake about that. Yeah, sometimes Vito will, give us a little trailer in there. Instagram, yeah, that's beautiful. Now, ladies, let's get down to what we came to do, and that's to let them know about you first, Deborah Love.
Okay.
Deborah Love, you're doing something so spectacular.
Love the name.
Yes, yeah, Deborah Love. Yeah, my second wife's name was Deborah, but wasn't Love. It was somewhat love there, but no, it was love. No, I loved my second wife as well. But Deborah Love, you have some artwork for us, you have some products for us, and you also have a great story for us as well. So let's get into your story of what made you do what you're doing right now and how you broke barriers. When they said that this couldn't be done, you made it happen.
Let me say this before she starts. Deborah Love, you meet a lot of phenomenal women that can really multitask and do 50 things effectively.
Okay.
Yeah.
People think I'm like that. I don't even want to be.
You don't want to do that.
No, I want to do it because it's working well and it's what her purpose is.
Right.
And you want to walk in your purpose.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But you started one of the organizations that she has is AADHH, which is the Association for the Advancement of Deaf and Hard of Hearing.
Right, exactly.
And
Yes.
tell us how you came to start that. What was your passion that caused you to start?
I was a state mentor for parents who were finding out that their kids are deaf. And I ended up mentoring 2 other parents who have younger kids who have deaf kids as well. And what we got to the point where we were very discouraged with some of the things that were not happening for our deaf kids in the school, and we're in Detroit Public Schools, and so we wanted to improve some of the things that we felt needed to be done. My mother is a retired teacher, practicing attorney, and so she's always been my motivator.
Right.
And what we did was, in talking, going out to breakfast one morning, we just decided, hey, we need to make a change. We can't keep being discouraged with it. We have to change it. And so what we did was we got together, the 4 parents, 4 mothers, got together. Each of us has a deaf child, and some of them had other children as well. And we decided to be the change we wanted to see.
Absolutely.
And
So
we,
with that, as you're telling us about that, you were a mother with a deaf child. So all of you who have deaf children, if you're tuning in, listening, or if you know someone that has deaf children, please have them call in right now or tune in. They can tune in on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, and Instagram, because she's going to be sharing information that would be helpful for people with deaf or hard of hearing children.
right.
Now, I want to ask you a quick question. What is it that the public school wasn't doing that made you do what you had to do?
Well, first of all, when my daughter is 31, okay?
Now.
But when she started elementary school, my assumption was all of our kids go on field trips, because my mother took her classes on field trips. She
Right.
pulled us out of school to go with them.
Right.
And I asked, so when do the field trips happen? Because I'll be one of those parents helping out on the field trip. And I was told, we don't put the deaf kids on a bus on field trips with hearing kids, and there's not enough deaf kids in that particular school to fill a bus, so they couldn't justify spending the money. So I said, what if I get the money? Okay.
Okay.
My kid can't go.
And right. And I said, what if I get the money? Now, at the time, I had no job, so I had to figure this out.
Right.
And
But that's what a woman can do.
Mother's love.
Say it.
so, but I do have a mother who always wants to pay something for my daughter. I said, no, we're going to figure this out
That's right.
as parents.
That's right. Okay.
And what we did was I started asking different churches. Oak Grove gave us money every year. And I met a attorney, Charles Wilson, who invited me to his Lions Club meeting.
Okay.
And he said, just tell them what you need. I'm sure they'll give you $100 or $200. I don't know what I said, but I walked out of there with a $500 check. And
All
we
right.
only needed $500 because we just wanted to buy the tickets and let them buy a souvenir when they went to this
Right.
ice show we were working on.
Right.
And then I was asked to join the Lions Club. And that was another...
So yet we have
Branch.
another Lions Club member
I
here
was
this
just
week.
about to say, because aren't you in the...
Yes.
I'm a
yes.
Lions Club member as well. Lions
Yes.
Club is a service organization that helps many different people, and Deborah Love is one of those people. And we're always going to have someone on that's a part of the Lions Club to share information. And so finish telling us your
So
story.
26 years later, I've probably been almost everything in the Lions Club except a district governor. I'm not ready for that yet. But my daughter is actually a lion in our club, and so is my goddaughter, both of who are deaf, but they now go to school at Gallaudet University in Washington, D.C. And the caveat to that is my daughter, she was born when I was 36. So when I realized that there might be an issue, I knew nothing about deaf, nothing about hard of hearing. I went to the doctor just to have it tested. I had a friend who had fluid in their ears, and that was my thought that it was. And they kept telling me, well, you're an older mother, and older mothers want their kids to talk sooner than what they do, and blah, blah, blah. A nurse pulled me aside and said, never let someone else tell you what's wrong with your child.
Exactly.
So I pushed.
Okay.
And eventually we found out that she was profoundly deaf. Sensory neural deafness, which means in both ears, the hairs in the ear did not grow.
What were some of the things that you noticed that should have been happening, and you said, well, what are some of the things that you noticed that
Well,
made
first
you
of all,
take her to the doctor?
Yeah, first of all, in our family, everybody talked sooner. We kind of want everybody to shut up.
Okay.
But on
That
top,
was your first clue.
that was my first clue. But on top of all of that, my mother had a friend who taught hard of hearing students, and I left my daughter with my mother while I was coordinating a fashion show.
Okay.
And I get this call when I got home that my mom said, I think you better take the baby to the doctor, because they turned the music up on, and it was an old music box. When you turn it on, it was very loud. Everybody was like, oh my God, turn it down, turn it down. My daughter was, no, just kept going. And so they thought something might be wrong. And I knew nothing about being deaf. But I took her to the doctor, and they told me I was just older and wanted her to talk. I then took her back again to another doctor.
But that was a major clue, wasn't it? When the music was loud, everyone wanted the music down, but you saw that it didn't faze her because she couldn't hear.
And she wouldn't respond to her name. And we actually thought that was because everybody had a different nickname. She was the first grandchild.
Oh, okay.
And so we said, okay, everybody call her one thing. Don't veer from that. It didn't work. So that's when I actually started taking her to the doctor. And the turning point for me was when I finally convinced them to do the test, ABR, which is what they call it now, which was brainstem. They put the electrodes on her head. There were 7 doctors in the room tweaking. And then they all walked out. And I looked at my mother and I said, there's a problem. And they came back in, and one doctor said something to me that directed the rest of my life up until now. Your daughter's profoundly deaf. I'm like, okay, that means she's not coming back. We're not going to fix this, right? And he said, but you don't have to worry about getting her in school or anything, because these kids don't learn until they're 7.
The children don't learn until they're 7.
But go back to the that's crazy. But go back to the
that's crazy.
It
to
is.
the part before that when you said I had to convince them.
Yeah. So I'm going to keep it clean. Okay.
As much as you can.
As much as I can. So I insisted that they test her in a different way. First, they clap their hands on the side. Okay. When one sense goes, another one kicks in. She can see a spider in that corner in the wall in the dark.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So that didn't work. And finally, they gave me the head of the pediatric area for I'm not going to mention the hospital because that's not right. And she threw something against the wall this way. My daughter was over in this corner. And I didn't realize she was going to do it. I jumped. My daughter just kept on doing what she was doing. She was playing with the toys in the corner. So they then said, well, we can give her a brainstem. And they tried to scare me with it by saying, well, we're going to have to put her under anesthesia. She wasn't a year old. We're going to have to put her under anesthesia. We're going to have to create these molds and put all these electrodes on. I said, okay, well, whatever we got to do, I need to know what I'm dealing with, because I can't change something I don't know.
And I would imagine now they have more advanced technology
where
they're doing things.
Our group of parents that came through were the ones that helped push the fact that they now do infant testing. So all kids by law in Michigan, not in all states, are to be tested at birth for hearing loss. Now then it's up to the parent to follow up if that child fails the test.
Well, you are a trailblazer.
Exactly.
You did it for the schools. Now, did you have any problems when you changed the criteria of the schools about separating the children? They give you a problem with that?
That would have put me out.
I don't do problems.
All right. Okay.
I don't know. I mean, all I
did
was said, this is what we have. We got the bus money. We got the tickets. I got the parents that are going to go. When do we go? I called the bus terminal from the school and set it up. So we just didn't have those kind of issues.
Love it.
So I don't know. There may have been a problem. But I know that while my daughter was in school, we did have to take the school to the state quite a few times because they had them on buses with no attendants. And, if you have a deaf kid and somebody's hurting and the bus driver doesn't know just the beginnings of sign language, which was very easy to learn. So we were able to get it where the bus drivers and the attendants had to take the beginning sign language classes and we gave them in the schools. So that was something that we did start. And what I noticed was over the years when I'm mentoring other parents, the same problems kept coming up because the school told us, we will change this for you as long as your daughter is here.
Wow. Stay right there. Ladies and gentlemen, you are watching WJZZ Cool TV, the original jazz station in the world, on the planet, right here. And we are Community Updates with my girl, Michelle. Yes. Check her out on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, and sometimes Instagram. You know, we got our beautiful guest here telling us some phenomenal stories because she's an original trailblazer. And I'm not surprised, coming from a black woman, I'm not surprised at all how things change. And, you know, you are the creator of all things. But let's get back into your story.
And let's give the people the number too, in case you want to call in.
Yeah.
If you have any questions for Miss Love or anything about any statements or comments, give us a call at 313-355-6018. Let us know you're out there. Tell us what you think. Let us know, do you have any children? And you're sharing with us now how they put the children in the schools with all of the other children.
Mm-hmm.
And in some instances, that's good because it can teach them community and so forth.
Yeah.
But in some cases, that's not good because children are cruel. They tease you.
Yeah.
You're sharing how the teachers didn't even know how to handle it. And so you started something where they had to do an in-service and become trained on how to handle. And teachers will tell you, look, that's not my job. Mm-hmm. But it is your job because your job is to teach. Mm-hmm. And so I had to do the same thing with my son when he was in a predominantly white school, mm-hmm. Caucasian school, however you want to say it. Mm-hmm. And they didn't know how to deal with black children. Mm-hmm. And so I said, well, you guys need an in-service. They didn't have any. They weren't in that area. Mm-hmm. And they didn't know. Right. And I would go and sit in on the classes. And I said, well, you have to tell my Johnny, you can't just say, sit still. Sit down. Mm-hmm. You have to be a little firmer. It's not that hard. You can't let the girls sit on the boys' lap. Right. No. But the teachers needed to learn how to deal with the different culture.
It is.
And so next thing I know, I was a PTA vice president.
Yeah, that's the thing, though. Right. She knows, whenever you interject your opinion, you become that thing, you know. And I'm very cautious now in this later time of my life that I'm very cautious about what I recommend. Mm-hmm. But yeah, and to your point, we're always told as parents of deaf kids what our kids cannot do. My daughter always wanted to either be a police officer or a fireman. All of that.
And she's in college.
This
is a good segue for you to show us some of her beautiful artwork.
Yeah. Right.
So she's an artist that's currently in college. Mm-hmm. And what school did you say she's at?
She's attending Gallaudet University in criminology. Mm-hmm. Nice. And she evidently got one of her dreams came true because she got some type of part-time job with DC Police. To help pay for college and all of that. So, unfortunately, that means I can't see her again. I'm going to have to go to D.C. But but she is, she's very much into sports. Mm-hmm. My sister is an Olympic gold medalist in Taekwondo. And she took my daughter under her wings when she was 4 years old and taught her Taekwondo. So she's a black belt.
So she learned many things before 7.
Oh, yes. Come on. Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
You know, she's played rugby, she's played soccer, she's won track medals,
all
the whole night.
And
basketball, all the things that she couldn't do. Yeah. But it wasn't easy. And I mean, we as parents have had to push for those things.
I was going to say that took your push as a parent. There's some parents that have maybe autistic children and they will wait thinking that their child cannot learn effectively until they're 6, 7, maybe even because a doctor or some clinician told them that. But that's not true.
No,
that's right.
Babies learn when they're in your womb. They
say
learn.
She has now this is going to sound strange. My daughter has a great love for music because we don't hear music. Mm-hmm. We feel music. It's never a hearing thing. Mm-hmm. I'm a singer, and the whole time, because I didn't know she was deaf, while I was carrying her, I sang all the time. Mm-hmm. And then when my mom got remarried and we were at her wedding, my daughter went and sat at the monitor while myself, my sister, and a cousin and I were all doing all the different jazz and blues songs they wanted to do at their wedding. And she sat there to listen at it. Now she's created a line of characters with her art. And she puts the beats to it because my stepson, who I helped raise from the age of like 3 years old, is into music production. And so he taught her to do the dancing and all the other stuff. So,
Awesome.
I mean, it's everything's
Please
possible.
show us some of her beautiful artwork.
So this is something, I don't know where I'm showing it.
Just
Okay.
Yeah.
so it's viewable
So-
in the camera.
In which camera am I in? This one. Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah, they got you.
Okay.
He gonna follow
So
you.
He's gonna
this
follow
is
you.
this is her most
We have a
popular
wonderful
piece.
producer behind there.
Okay. So this is one of her most popular pieces. It's a lion. And
Yes.
all of her art started either on
Isn't that
wood
gorgeous?
or
It is
canvas.
gorgeous.
And so then we made prints after the wood or
Right.
canvas. Now she's created this one on canvas 6 times, and she told me she's not doing it again.
Okay.
I love the colors.
Yeah, and then she's had some nice pieces like this is one of her.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, she does that one, and now this one, which I thought was very unique. It's the "I Love You" hand, but this is actually carved in wood. She carved it in wood.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
so she
Wow.
does. She
So
has
her artwork is even for sale.
it is, and it's for
And
sale
how do
on my
people-
website.
Okay, please give us your website address.
It's www.justjameen.com. I'll spell that. That's
So
J.
let's get your paper and get your
Yeah,
pencil.
you
I
said
told
it.
you to have
Yeah.
it ready at the beginning then. So that was www.justjameen.com.
JAMEEN.com. And Jameen is my middle name.
Okay,
Okay.
say
Let
that
me
one more
repeat
time.
that
Right.
again.
It's
That address, if you'd like to buy some of this beautiful artwork, is www.justjameen.com. That's justjameen.com.
exactly.
Do you also sell your other products on there?
I do. I have 3 different creams along with other things like sprays and soaps that we also do. They're all natural, no petroleum, no alcohol.
Natural cream. I love
There-
the
no
cream.
no
I use them every
petroleum,
day.
no alcohol. In fact, my hair is curled by my Frappe.
Oh, okay.
It's natural.
Isn't
It's
it
a
pretty?
I don't have any. It's not a press and curl, no perm.
That's what this
Um,
is right here.
Yeah, the Frappe.
And
I
they
use
smell
the
good.
lavender
Yeah.
because it's better for your hair. My daughter actually created the body butter that we carry. And the body butter is the only thing that has
called
coconut
Peach
oil,
Frappe.
shea, tea tree oil, and the grapeseed oil and things that we use in the other. But she created that because she needed some, and it has organic beeswax.
This
Okay,
smells so
what
good.
does frappe mean?
Oh, okay.
I asked
That is
question
just
too,
a
didn't I?
regular lotion, but the reason we call it frappe is because I ran out of things to call it because I didn't want to call it a lotion.
right.
And I used to teach young kids how to make their own lotions, and I made this blend up so that they could put the scent in, and we just called it frappe. It was never supposed to be for sale, but it ended up being
Listen,
that
this
way.
palm peach smells so good.
It smells so good.
And it was
With black coconut.
Oh, I love that.
In a few
That's my
minutes,
favorite.
we're going to be giving some job information of things around the city. While matter of fact, I'll share one while they're looking at the smelling the frappe.
Oh, while I'm shopping.
Continue shopping. That's what we want to do. Community updates is for us to share about your business, share about the things we're doing. That's how we get out here. We help one another.
That's
We're a
right.
community, and not just a community in the United States, not just a community in Detroit. We're a community around the world, around the nation. And we want to share information. We're going to be sharing more international information as we go along as well. But so we love that. Did you bring the other? I just bought a bunch of lotions because
Yeah.
and I even give them. She has some lotions
They're the
that
little
she
small
gives
ones.
out. Well, I give them out as Christmas gifts. I give them as Christmas gifts.
Yes.
Those are our little samplers, and I
Yes.
usually, those are great. Like, we do them for, you have a party, you can have favors on the table.
yeah.
My nephew is graduating from West Point, and I'm doing
nice.
his celebration here,
Is
so
what's
we're going
next
to do that.
Sunday? Mother's Day.
And Mother's Day, yeah, there's still time to get the Mother's Day special on my website. You put
Yes.
in mom, and you get 15%
and that's one of
off.
the candles. Doesn't
And
smell
it
good?
actually goes through Tuesday because we know sometimes people have to buy
Oh,
stuff
that
after
smells so
Mother's
good.
Day.
Right.
She has some candles that come in a little bathtub.
Oh,
And I
yes.
have one
should
in
have to bring it.
one of my restrooms.
Phenomenal.
And I just love it. It just the scent just goes around the whole upstairs.
That Crambritini was the scent that I created on my 50th birthday.
Well, while they're looking
Wow.
at that and looking at the lotions and so forth, give a call. Be sure and go to www.justjameen, JUSTJAMEEN.com, and purchase some of these products. We need to support one another, whatever your business is. This doesn't have anything just with being black, white. I don't care what color you are, black, white, purple, brown. We're people.
That's right.
And we need to support one another as people.
That's right.
So, but you guys can finish looking at that. Let me give you a little information. Oakland County is looking for 911 dispatchers, and they are paying. They have a $3,225 starting bonus. So if you're in Oakland, if you would like a job in Oakland County, they are looking for 911 dispatchers. So for all the people who are saying I don't have a job, or if you know someone that needs a job and might like to just talk, 911 dispatchers, Oakland County, you can go to their website at oaklandcounty.gov, but they have a signing bonus of $3,225. And they are paying very well. Their starting salaries at $41,000 to $64,000 for 911 to become a 911 dispatcher. And you guys supposed to be looking at the product.
No, we're listening about these jobs.
I want to change mine.
Like, all the focus was on me.
Yes,
It was.
I didn't want that. And also, I don't see the other job. Oh, when you go to LinkedIn gives so many good job information, as well as Indeed. There's so much. I did put in customer service. Every day now I'm getting some customer service job information. There's to go to LinkedIn, go to job seekers or Indeed.com. And put in what you might be interested in, and there are so many. There's I got about 30 jobs just listed on this one piece of paper. Yes,
Wow.
sir.
Well, you know what? I'm so glad that you brought that, to people's attention. And the jobs are paying well, so that means the price is going to stay high for a while. Because they paying well.
Right.
But anyway, the good thing is you will be able to support your family and get yourself back on your feet the way it should be. Speaking about finance and jobs and
That was nice how you slid that in.
Yeah.
I was wondering how we were going to segue.
yeah, but the Booker T. Washington organization, as well as being a motivator, entrepreneur, young lady that I'm proud to know, and I just want to take time out to let you know who she is. Let's give it up for Miss Crystal Gunn.
Yes.
Gunn with the double N's.
Gunn
Right?
with the double N. Thank you for that young woman. I thank you for that.
You are, Crystal.
Well, you're as young as you feel.
That's true.
We don't get older, we get better.
We get better.
Yes. Yes. Now, let's start off about finance first. We'll go off into the finance. Because I know that you used to clear credit and everything.
I still do all of that. So I'm all things economics, personal side and business side, right? And let me start it off by giving you, I'm always into statistics, but there was a study that was done a few years ago that said in the year 2053, despite the fact that people of color will be the majority population, if the current financial trend continues, blacks will have zero wealth. And 10 years after that, Hispanics will have zero wealth. We have a $1.6 trillion buying power. So, and that has gone up from last year. And when I say we, I mean black America has a $1.6 trillion buying power. So that means we're making more money, but we're keeping less of it.
Yeah.
And so it's not, I always say we're not going to be able to close the wealth gap in our lifetime. But we have to start doing something yesterday in order to keep that 2053 prediction from happening.
Get your paper and pencil ready.
Yeah.
She's getting ready to give us some info. Got mine.
So for me, when I saw that, and because I've always been into financial empowerment, I just said that can't happen on my watch. I mean, my daughter right now she'll be 21 this year. And so I always ask, to the listeners, to who's ever in the audience, how old will your children be in 2053? Wow. How old will you be? How will your grandchildren be? And can you imagine a life where they have no wealth? That should shake people to the core, in my opinion.
Yes.
And then we need to start doing something different.
Absolutely.
So what are some of those things you think we need to do to start amassing some wealth?
child, there is a long list. But some things that we need to do immediately, we need to, listen, there's no reason why anybody in today's world should have bad credit. Right. And so oftentimes when people say, well, I don't believe in credit. And what they really mean is they don't believe in the debt, which credit does not equal debt. And or they had credit, they messed it up, and now they don't believe in it. So now they want to. Now you don't believe in it, but you was, you know what I mean? So everybody needs to just work to be able to fix, repair, and build their credit. So part of, from a credit repair standpoint, I do something called credit rise, which we're going to repair whatever credit needs to be repaired. Okay. We're going to get you more credit. Most credit repair companies just repair your credit, meaning they're going to remove help to remove the bad stuff off of it. I'm going to help you to remove the bad stuff off of it, but then I'm going to help you build credit, because a lot of times we don't know how to do that. And then I'm going to teach you how to use it properly. Most people are not using credit the way that it was designed to be used effectively.
So this is information that is universal.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
you're going to teach people how to remove negative credit,
Yeah.
build their credit, and then how
Use
to
it effectively.
use it effectively. Now there's some companies, there are plenty of credit repair companies out here. Some of them charge you a monthly fee, take your money, and don't really repair the credit. Your score doesn't necessarily change.
Yeah.
They will contact companies and stop them from calling, but that doesn't stop the negative numbers on your credit.
Right.
So what should you do?
So if you're going to a credit repair company, I would suggest that you work with someone who you have to pay monthly as opposed to one lump sum up front, right? Because then you get to monitor.
It makes it easier too for you.
Well, it makes it easier for you to pay, but also you have an opportunity to monitor what's going on. And people will come to me and say, "Oh, I've been working with such and such for getting my credit repaired. How long does it take?" Well, it takes as long as it takes, right? Because it could be 3 people, and it's going to take a different amount of time based on the individual. So it's hard to say that, right? And then there's still, if you're trying to fight with a collection agency to get something removed, they want the money, right? So they may not just give up and say, oh, well, never mind, we're going to take it off your credit. So you may have to go back and forth a little bit in order to do that. So it's hard to put a definitive time frame on how long credit repair is going to take.
But then the credit repair company will go back and forth with the creditor as opposed to you needing to continue to speak with them and having them call your phone.
Because you never want them calling you. Yeah, you want to do everything in writing. But also the other piece is why I say you want to pay someone monthly if that is an option, because again you get to monitor. You should see something starting to happen. Like if you got 10 collection accounts that you're trying to remove off, that first 60 days, all of them may not come off, but you want to constantly see something happening in some leeway. And if you're paying monthly, you have an opportunity to do that.
Yeah. Plus, if you need the credit repair, probably paying monthly is just more practical.
Absolutely.
For you.
Yes. So that's on a credit piece.
Does your book here tell us financially flawless questions?
So there's 2 editions here. One is the single mothers edition and one is the couples edition. We don't have enough financial conversations in our community. And financial issues, I saw that it was the number 2 cause of divorce, but I'm almost thinking that it might be the number one. Right. And we just don't have enough questions. So the couples edition has over 64 questions that you need to be having conversation with whomever you're in a relationship with. And
so our listeners and viewers should be going out to buy this for their children, themselves.
It's wedding season.
Everyone. It's wedding season.
Yes.
For new people that are getting married.
For old people that are already married.
Or old people thinking about marriage.
Where can they get this book?
From my website, www.crystalgunn, and that's G like George, UNN.com.
Well, you have to spell crystal for us, too,
Oh,
because
true.
so many people spell crystal so many different ways.
You got that right. So it's CRYSTALGUNN.com.
So that's www.CRYSTALGUNN.com.
You got it.
Okay.
And the single mothers edition, when they look at the numbers and they look at wealth, right? And so you have this wealth ladder. Guess who's at the bottom of the wealth ladder? single black mothers. Now,
Yeah.
right above them, single black fathers with children in multiple households. So I'm a divorced mother, right? And although I always say I have the best ex-husband in the world, and we have co-parented extremely well, but I understand what it's like to have one breadwinner in the house, and it's a difference, right? And so it's over 60 questions that you need to be asking yourself as that single woman. Some of those are questions that when you find somebody that you want to be with, you need to be having them conversations. And then just some other questions that you need to ask yourself, especially when you talk about how are we co-parenting now? We aren't together, but we have this child. How do we co-parent financially to make sure this child is okay?
Yeah.
How do we work to stay out of the court system? Because I am not a fan of friend of the court.
Okay.
And we opted not to do that. I was like, there's no way I'm not getting in that court system. And so you have to be able to work for the good of the child. And we know with everything that goes on in the world today, that's not always.
And I love that you go through wills and trust funds in here as well.
Yeah.
And that's important. We don't always think about the wealth that we need to be leaving to our legacy, to our children.
Trust, that makes
And even the importance of having insurance different from your job.
Right.
Whatever your job is giving you is fine. But you need to have your own insurance.
Yes, exactly.
And then you need to do it while you're young, because the older you get, the more it costs. And if you develop any type of ailments or pre-conditions, then it's extremely high.
Listen, there's just so much stuff that has, and we know that the financial stuff is not taught to us, and it's not taught intentionally. So we definitely know that. But there's so much stuff, and a lot of times you'll hear people say, "Well, I don't have enough money to have a financial strategist," and I'm like, "But that's exactly why you need one." Right, because you don't know how to get to where you want to get. So, as that financial strategist, part of what I do, again, I do premarital and marital financial counseling, but I also create strategy for people, right? So, and part of that strategy might be getting your credit in order, but also, I had a couple call me, and she said, we should be seeing $2,800 a month after we've paid our bills, but we're not seeing our savings grow. So it's because you're not tracking your money. You don't know where the money is going. People don't know where the money is. The very first thing that I have anybody do before we meet is you got to find the money. You got to tell me where your money is going.
And that part gets real frightening when you did it. I did a test on myself right after I got divorced, and to this day now, I can walk into a store with the intention of buying something and come out buying nothing, because I can talk myself out of everything I went in there to buy, because I'm like, okay, see, I can make that. No, I can do without that because I got this. So I've learned to do that. And to your point, I think the problem sometimes is that as a single parent, you think that you're overwhelmed. You got to use this money to do this for your child and do that for your child, and then you don't look at the long term. Right. And it took me a long time to come to a financial reality. A long time. I mean, to the point that when I bought my house, I bought it cash.
Oh my God!
And I will not. I have calls every day to sell it because I know that where I'm at, they're
stop selling mama's and grandma's house, please.
Oh,
stop
please.
selling
the property.
Oh my goodness.
Stop. And this is why. So the other thing that I do when we're working together, I help you to build your financial dream team, because we have to know who we go to for what. Like if you're having heart surgery or whatever, there's going to be an anesthesiologist, there's going to be the nurse, there's going to be the doctor. That's your dream. That's your surgical dream team for that. You need one of those for your finances as well, because you don't know what you don't know, and that's why we stay in this constant state of survival mode, because we're not doing what we need to do. We don't even know how. You hear this term generational wealth. People don't even know how to transfer generational wealth, right? Or they think that there's only one way to do it. And again, part of that strategy is helping you set those things up so that you can live the life that you actually are supposed to be living, as opposed to what you're forced to live because you don't have control of your finances.
Now, speaking of finance again, Booker T. Washington, the organization you're with,
yes,
with a lot of other people that you collaborated on getting together.
Yes.
Let's talk a little bit about that.
Absolutely. So Booker T. Washington Trade Association. So I'm the chairwoman of the Booker T. Washington Trade Association. The Michigan Black Chamber and the National Business League came together to create the Detroit United Front. And what we ultimately we're the Midwest chapter of the National Business League, which is across the country and on a couple of different continents as well. And so all things black business. And in any form of fashion, there's been a we just graduated our first class in the Stellantis. They have the what do you call them? The supplier program. So the supplier program with Stellantis, so that black suppliers can have these contracts and get these things. So it's being the voice of the voiceless. So the 82,000 businesses in the city of Detroit, 80% of them are black. The majority of them are solopreneurs or very small.
I mean, you said 82,000 businesses are in Detroit, and 80%
About 80% of them are black.
Where? You don't see it.
You don't see it.
I was happy to go down the Avenue of Fashion one day this weekend, and it was just, I was so elated to see so many businesses thriving again. And I didn't just go, I stopped and bought some things.
Right, exactly.
But I don't see the 80. I mean,
don't.
a lot of people are doing in-home businesses.
Absolutely.
Right.
And we want you to tell us a little bit more about ADD, about the association before you leave too. But do you have a number too that you want people? Do you want people to just go to your website, or do you have a number that they can call for credit repair?
Oh yeah, you can call me 313-410-8260. Again, 313-410-8260. Call me for that. I also have a program that I do called MAC Ready, getting you mortgage and credit ready. And lately it's been rent and credit ready too, because it's the same criteria when you got to go out there to rent, because the rent is just crazy because there's a housing shortage.
Which is why you don't sell your house.
Which is why you
Because
don't
the money doesn't match, or like they say, the money doesn't make sense.
It doesn't. And so it is imperative, and I can't stress it enough. It's just imperative that we do what we can to get our finances in order.
So we've got great hosts tonight, great guests tonight.
One other thing, let me say this, because we were just talking about the businesses. So part of what I do, because I said I'm all things economics for businesses and personal, I also do, we have so many people who are in business and have been doing business for years very well. But they do not have the foundation set up that they need. And so you cannot build on top of a rocky foundation, right? And so, and Detroit is, I mean, we are hustlers and we're going to get it done. But part of that is you have to have that foundational structure of your business set up. So I then also go in to businesses and do that business consulting to make sure, okay, you're retail, you're collecting sales tax, but you ain't sent it to the state. That's a problem, right? And so being able to go in and do those things and set them up in systems and all of that, so that you can set it up to leave to your family, and that if something happens to you, that business can continue to run and you continue to have money coming in.
I used to teach some classes, workshops on how to set up proper businesses as I was doing that. And one of the things, setting up that proper foundation, is you really need to have a for-profit, a non-profit, and an LLC. And then eventually a foundation, so that your money will funnel from one thing to another one. One of the things that we don't do is that many model cultures do, is they have an LLC or an LLP, and they buy all the chicken together. People buy all the nail supplies together. But if you have an LLC or an LLP, then you can purchase. I don't have to worry if you fall off or you fall off. It's not going to hurt my home or my car.
That's why you see two beauty supply stores across the street from one another, and they won't go out of business.
That's why you see 4 gas stations if you go on Hopper and
buy
Caju.
together.
That's right.
Exactly.
We've got to learn how to purchase for purchasing power.
Well, first we
To
have to
buy together.
unlearn that I'm not supposed to, that I
Yes.
can't trust you. So
Yes.
we have to unlearn that I can't trust you.
And that's a problem. I mean, even through the pandemic, I found where we had to do some changes, because I tried to find jars and things that were made in the U.S. because I knew with the pandemic it was going to
get it. Yep.
And we actually had to change our top from these small ones to these tops. We used to have silver tops, which was how we promoted all of them. So we can only now use them on our big ones because I can't get them.
You know what? But what you can get is WJZZ Cool TV. And you can get community updates every Wednesday from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m.
Gotta do some station identification. WJZZ Cool TV. We want you to tune in every Wednesday from 6 to 7 p.m. We want you to give us a call at 313-355-6018. And even next week, we're going to be talking. We have a medical doctor that's going to be coming and sharing some things. So be sure and tune in for that. And he's going to be sharing things for seniors. There's some insurance that is out here available for seniors that is better than their Medicaid and Medicare, and they can keep that.
Wow.
And still
what
have.
age you got to be for a senior?
Well, you're not old enough yet. You got to be 60.
I ain't old enough.
You have to have. You don't have to. This medical information that he's going to be sharing is for everyone, even if you have Blue Cross Blue Shield, HMOs. But if you have Medicare or Medicaid, you can really benefit.
Right.
Awesome. Now, speaking of benefit and things that we need to know about being healthy, because this is this month is Mental Health Awareness Month. And now sometimes what we have to do is, a lot of people don't know they're bipolar. They don't know they have this mental health problem. And sometimes
they know and don't take meds.
Okay.
But it's a situation and a solution for that. And Crystal, I want to talk to you about that. What you do for the women, the motivation speeches, and
be sure and tell us about your fundraiser.
Yeah.
So I do have an organization called the Amazing Woman Network, and the Amazing Woman Network was created to unite and empower Black women globally under our pillars of reclaiming our personal power, mind, body, and spirit, our financial power, and increasing our social involvement. We strive to help every Black woman own, honor, and execute her amazing, right? Because the world continues to tell us that we're not. But we know we birthed the world. So,
Thank you.
right? And so you got 3 amazingly dope women sitting right here with you today, right? So that is that. It is a passion of mine. And the world tells us what we're supposed to do, how we're supposed to act, and part of that wreaks havoc on our mental health. Right, and it's that bar that you're supposed to look a certain way. You can't wear your hair the way it goes out of your head. Your body got to look like this. You got to do all that, and it's ever changing, and it's self-depression causing. It's self-hate evoking because you can never reach that thing. So for us, it's like, how do you just stand up, get rid of all of that, stop trying to reach this bar that really is designed to keep us out, and own, honor, and execute your own amazing. And if you do that, you're gonna be just fine. So that's really my push for women, and I speak everywhere I can about
you're
empowering.
on a few platforms as well, because when I was looking at your Facebook page, I think it said you're a financial strategist for women.
Specifically, so I do strategy for anybody, but my passion is really for women because.
And you have an event coming up. Is it Red Dot?
Yes. So AWN Cares is my nonprofit. And our biggest campaign is what we call Red Dot Bags. And Red Dot Bags is where we pack individual bags to give to people in need. And so we have this push where I right now have the middle school and high schools in Pontiac, in Inkster, and we have a few schools in Detroit that will be receiving bags. And so
that event is on
May 28th.
May 28th.
That's the packing party. So actually you can go to awncares.org. RSVP to come help us pack. We have a whole lot of fun. You can go on there and find our wish list for what we want. So sanitary supplies, bags, things of that nature.
So do you need volunteers
and money
to come in and help with that?
Absolutely.
So you need financial support for Red Dot, and the event, the packing event, is going to be on May the 28th, and you'll be distributing these things.
We'll be distributing the products those first 2 weeks in June because we want the girls to be
whom?
able to take the girls at the schools. So the schools in Pontiac,
The school
Inkster,
is out by June, isn't it?
they're
No.
usually out that second or third
Second or
week.
third week,
So
yeah.
those first and second weeks, we'll be delivering them so that they can have enough supplies for over the summer.
And what type of supplies?
So overnight sanitary pads, regular pads, panty liners. There's the wish list, and because we want certain kind or sizes so that they'll go into the bag, so they can go buy, ship them directly to us.
Okay. So do you want people to send you donations of some of those
Absolutely,
things?
they can go onto the website and do that. They can bring some to the packing party.
And what was that website again?
AWNcares.org.
AWNcares.org.
Now, what does that mean? AWN. What's
Amazing Woman Network.
Okay. I should have known that.
So Amazing Woman Network is the membership side, but AWN Cares is the nonprofit
How many
side.
bags are you
speaking-
planning to pack?
We need probably about 2,500 bags packed.
2,500. That's good.
Yeah.
That's a good amount. And then speaking of healing products, your lotions and
I was thinking I
candles
can
and
donate some of
everything.
the lotions, some of our sample size
Oh.
ones. Yeah.
And where do people go again with your website to have them to get some of your products?
It's www.justjameen.com. That's JUSTJAMEEN.
And if they want to hear more about AADHH,
So AADHH has a Facebook page, and so you just and you can actually find it by going into AADHH. You don't have to put the Association for the Advancement of Deaf and Hard of Hearing. And we have quite a few events coming up. We have a Wine and Sign Friday, and that's free. And then we have a fish fry at the end of June. We just finished with our career day last month, and we have our educational workshop and for our deaf and hard of hearing. And it's a tutoring educational workshop, and that's usually in the fall. And I must make a shameless little thing here.
Come on.
Okay, because we're talking about phenomenal women.
Right.
My mother is about to turn 90 years old.
Awesome.
She has a bachelor's,
Awesome.
master's, PhD in education, and a law degree.
Awesome.
She refuses to stop with this law thing, so we're going to work on that a little bit longer. I think she should retire. She doesn't think so, but I can't complain because I can't do it either.
Right.
But on top of that, I actually have what's called a 9-to-5 job.
Okay.
And so my brother is a chiropractor in Georgia.
Okay.
He has an Alabama office and a South Atlanta office, and
nice.
I run the South Atlanta office, and I'm also his HR specialist and finance coordinator.
so tell them about his business in Georgia. Again, we are not just Detroit, we are worldwide.
So he's a full-service chiropractic office, meaning he has a medical side, he has a surgical center in South Atlanta, where he does manipulation under anesthesia. I was in a car accident right before Christmas, and I had to get 2 manipulations because I couldn't move, and now I'm
So
moving.
for the listeners in Atlanta, where would they contact to get in touch with his
So
business?
it would be both of them. You'll see both on the same website. It's Chi Medical. That's CHIMEDICAL MGT. I had to spell it in my head. MGT.com. So it's ChiMedicalManagement.com, and management is just MGT.
Okay.
And so I do work for him 9 to 5, and I do work. Now I'm here for a little while, for about a month or so. But I actually travel back and forth from here to Georgia.
Okay.
So I
We've
live
got like
part-time
another
there.
2 minutes. Is there anything else you wanted to share or tell?
Well, we actually got a little time. We got about 7 minutes.
So then let me just put
okay.
that plug in there
7.
real quick for business owners. So many times I talk to business owners and they can't scale because they don't have business credit. They don't have lines of credit. Everything they're using is cash, cash, cash. Give me a call, 313-410-8260. And I can tell you and show you some easy ways to get and build your business credit for your company so that you're not coming out of your pocket.
I will be calling you. because
So
Me too.
I
you
use
might think,
all-
there might be people out here that think I
Support my
love
own.
what she said. She said you don't know what
What
you
you
don't
don't
know.
know.
Right.
Yeah.
So you might think you have the perfect business model, it's working. Why do I need, this service? but you don't know what you don't know.
And if
So
you have a
give her a
conversation
call.
with me, you're going to realize, oh, wait, I didn't know that, right? Just from
Yeah.
that. And it's okay to not know. What's not okay is to keep staying in that place
Right.
and not going to find out.
Right. And the pandemic did something real. I mean, I was able to make it through the pandemic and my sales went up. However, I still did everything from my pocket because I couldn't qualify for PPP.
Oh, right. That's, yeah. So,
Well, we didn't have as many callers this time, but
They
we
were
do
listening.
want you. They were listening. And
Yeah.
we thank you for your attentive listening. Because after the program, sometimes people are saying, "Now, what was that number?"
Yeah.
Well, can you give me that information? I want you to bring your paper and pencil out every Wednesday evening, 6 to 7 p.m., because we are going to be sharing information that is not just for you,
right.
but it's for someone that you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We are not here to just do another podcast. We're here to help.
That's right.
This is we serve.
Yeah.
This is a service. I'm a Lions Club member because I serve. I'm a human being. And that knows the importance of serving. Each one of us here know the importance of serving,
Yes.
serving our communities, serving one another,
Yeah.
making health. This is Mental Health Week. We want to Mental Health Month, but mental health is always something that
Say
needs
it.
to be
Always.
recognized.
Yeah.
And how I can have better mental health if my finances are right.
Yeah.
If my child is being taken care of in the school system, if I've got healthy lavenders and things, all of that helps the wellness and candles. It helps the wellness of the human beings, and you can get all that right here on Community
That was good.
every Wednesday, 7 p.m.
That was
On
good.
Tune
where?
in on WJZZ Cool TV. Don't forget to like it. Hit like, subscribe, and share it and subscribe.
Yes.
Hit that subscribe button if you're watching us on YouTube. If you're on Facebook, just like us and share it on your page, please, because all of that is helpful for all of us.
Yes, it is.
And the more information we get out, and if you got information or want to come on the program or have some information to share, just to share. I have people that call me and say, hey, tell them about this. Matter of fact, there was something I was supposed to tell you that someone did call and I forgot. But do that.
Do it next week.
I'm going to share it next week.
That's great. All right. That's
But we
good.
thank you. We appreciate you all.
Yeah.
Oh, we
For
thank
coming
you.
and having us.
Absolutely.
Now, before we go, how much are the books?
$20.
Okay.
$20
Books are
plus
$20.
whatever what shipping is. So yeah, definitely go to the website. It's some other stuff on there too. Just go take a look and see what questions you have.
Yeah.
Okay. Give that website again.
www.crystalgun.com, and that's CRYSTALGUNN.com.
Now, you got anything coming up for the Lions Club? Anything?
Actually, right now, because this is near our end of our year, we have our scholarships for the Lions Club that I'm president of. We have 2 scholarships, one for a teenager and a deaf teenager. We usually pull one from
When is that event?
MSD. It's not an event, it's a function that we do. That scholarship will be given the first week in June. And then we also have our continuing education scholarship, which is open to people going on to deaf and hard of hearing, going on to higher learning. It does not have to be a college. It does not have to be a university. It can be a trade school. It can be beauty school. It can be an internship. We don't care.
Okay.
Okay, and that scholarship is available. You can go through my website and email me, or you can email aadhhnonprofit@gmail.com.
Okay.
I don't know how I remember all of these
I
different things.
was thinking that.
We've
Now,
got a meal packing event that's going to be coming up too
Yes.
at the end of the month, and we're packing meals to give to communities, to children and families, and hopefully we're going to have someone talking further about that, maybe even next week, because the event is May the 28th.
Yeah.
And so we want to share, if you know people that, and another one is the beds, Sleep in Heavenly Peace,
right.
where we're making beds to give. If you know any children that don't have a bed, that are sleeping on the floor, don't sit by. Give us a call.
That's right.
Let us know. Text it or put it in your comments on there that, yes, I know someone, on YouTube or on the comments on our Facebook pages. We're making these beds with the bedding, with the mattresses, and children can have these things for free. No cost. Can we all say free? Free. So be sure and tune in. We're going to be telling you more about the meal packing event where you can have meals being given to your communities or your organization for children and their families.
And it's on the website.
It's on the website. on the Metro Detroit Lions.org website and Facebook page.
Now, Crystal, if someone wanted to join the Booker T. Washington organization,
Call me.
okay, just simple.
313-410-8260. Because they're still doing some stuff on the back end of the website to get them to join. So just call me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we're always looking for new lions. We
Yes.
need 'em.
Always.
Tell me, what's the website again here? That's
It's Metro Detroit Lions.
I have an application for you.
O-R-G.
well, there you go. Never mind. 'Cause I gotta ask.
Yeah, well, that's going to take you to LCI. This is for District 11A1, which is Wayne and Monroe counties.
Okay.
So it's Metro Detroit Lions.org.
Okay.
And you can
Yes.
still keep this
Yes,
information for you
absolutely.
too.
Absolutely.
So if you want to become a Lions member, go to MetroDetroitLions.org. But
Yes.
be sure and tune in next week on WJZZ Cool TV Community Updates. If you aren't seen it or came in and didn't get all of it, watch the replay
That's right.
on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, and sometimes
Instagram. Don't forget
and
Twitter.
Now,
Twitter.
what is Twitch?
That's a new app.
Oh, Lord. I
Yeah.
can't think of the new app.
It's for
Soon
stuff
I'm
like
looking
this.
to be on Clubhouse. That's another new one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there's so many